Hello, metal lords and ladies, and welcome to my very first edition of Metal Fairy Tales. For this momentous occasion, I have put on my most princessy attire and will now regale you with the very first true metal fairy tale of my life. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Katie who dreamt of going to metal concerts. When she heard that her favorite metal band was coming to her fair land, she was determined to manifest her desire to attend. After months of prayer, the metal gods granted her wish, but on one condition. Her father must too attend, escorting Katie and her sister to this hallowed gathering. Okay, so this video is going to be me telling you about my first metal concert that was Type O Negative in 2007. It's very special to me, obviously, because you can't see Type O Negative anymore. I love this band. In fact, my one and only tattoo is a Type O Negative tattoo, much to the chagrin of my family. Sorry, mom and dad, grandma, aunts, uncles, sorry everybody. Okay, so in 2007, I had just finished my freshman year of college, and I saw that Type O Negative was coming to Atlanta, which is fairly close to me, and I was just dying to go to my first metal concert. I remember in high school seeing things like Behemoth passing by and King Diamond passing by, but I had kind of strict parents, so it wasn't really feasible. But when I saw Type O Negative was coming, I was still in college, but I was home for the summer and I was being kept on a very short leash, so I thought that this would even still be impossible. But, you know, my mom was all into The Secret and the Law of Attraction, so I made an attempt to use the Law of Attraction and manifest Type O Negative to actually happen. And I also wouldn't shut up about it. I would talk about it all the time. So finally one day my dad just randomly said that he would take me. I was like, oh, okay. So who knows, maybe the law of attraction really works. It's been almost 10 years now since that magical day, so in celebration of my upcoming anniversary, I thought I would share with you all my story. I actually even wrote all about it in my journal, so I will be able to share more detail by referring to my journal. So on this wonderful day, I was already out of college for the summer and my sister was still in high school, so we actually even checked her out of school to go to Atlanta. Thanks, Dad. And while we rode over to Atlanta, I felt it necessary to explain to my daddy that, well, there might be some bad words spoken at this event, so just prepare yourself for that. Hey, Wobbles. Kind of apologize in advance. They might say some off-color things, but, you know, they're still good people. But I assured him there would not be any moshing because Type O Negative is kind of a slow band, so it's impossible to mosh to that. Anyway, you can probably guess that I had no idea what I was talking about, and I was totally wrong. But my dad is super chill. He's a huge music guy. He's into all different kinds of genres, just not metal. He's been attending concerts his whole life, so I probably just didn't give him enough credit, but wanted to give him a heads up. Okay, so we arrived in Atlanta, we checked into our hotel. My dad was awesome enough to even get us a hotel for the night, which is great. And this was my first time to the masquerade, and I remember waiting in line with all these black and leather clad people stretching around the building, and it was really exciting because I'd never really been around other metal listeners or other Type O Negative fans or anything like that, and I was stunned at the diversity of people and how interesting all the people seemed. It was really, really exciting. And the concert was in heaven, so this was my first time in heaven as well. And my sister and I went right to the merch line and got ourselves some Type O Negative shirts. And then we stood around and listened to some local bands play, blah, blah, blah. And then for this tour, Type O Negative was going with Celtic Frost and Brand New Sin. So we watched Brand New Sin play. I'm not even sure if they're still doing stuff anymore. They're kind of like what I call one of those 2005 bands. but I don't know. They were cool, whatever. I'm just not into it. And then came Celtic Frost. Up until this point, I had only listened to their latest album, which was Monotheist. I know that's kind of shameful, but hey, I didn't have any outside influences. I was just finding all this crap myself by reading metal magazines and stuff. So I didn't know a lot of their songs at the time, but it was still amazing. You could tell they were veterans on that stage. Even my dad liked it. It was really epic. They were all corpse painted out, and it was really cool. They were very serious on stage, but I kind of like that. It just adds to the atmosphere.
And flee from this procreation of the wicked!
I forgot, this is back when the Masquerade still allowed smoking, and I think this was my first time being around a smoky bar area, so I had this huge headache, my eyes were watering the whole time, and also somebody like fell backwards on me and spilled their beer all over me. But, you know, there were more important things at hand here. And while Celtic Frost was playing one of their songs, Johnny and Kenny ran out on stage and just yelled into two of the mics and ran back off stage. And I almost died. It was so exciting. And then as Celtic Frost was finishing up, or packing up, cleaning off the stage, whatever you call that, and Typo Negative was starting to get their stuff on the stage, we saw like one of their roadies or something that we recognized from the Typo Negative DVD, and we were like, oh! And of course, waiting for Typo Negative to go on took forever. It was driving me crazy, and concerts are actually really exhausting. Standing in one place with a bunch of strangers is really tiring, especially when you're inhaling a bunch of cigarette smoke the whole time. But over the sound system, they were just playing some Pantera to keep us occupied, and it was really exciting. Everyone was singing along and just getting ready, getting crunk. And if you're a Typo Negative fan, you might be familiar with the signage that they use at their concert. One says "You suck" and one says "Boo," and they light up, you know, telling the audience to scream those things. So they had those set up, and we were all getting ready, screaming "You suck" and booing them. And I remember we were getting kind of pushed further back and back because drunk people like have no manners, and we were just noobs with an old guy. And then finally out came a Typo Negative wearing their green and black with the green lights shining. Of course, it's all gotta be green. And I was fangirling big time. I was so excited to see them in real life. It was just magical. And the first song they started off with was "We Hate Everyone." And then they started moshing. I didn't know that was gonna happen. So we were the first row of non-moshers. My dad was up there like, you know, trying to keep them away and stuff. And I was like, okay, we can do this. Sorry, Dad. described it in my journal, the crowd went insane. And of course, Typo Negative is known for their sense of humor, so they were a lot less serious than Celtic Frost. So Peter would talk to us, joke with us, stuff like that.
Brooklyn, New York. I want to tell you, on behalf of us, Celtic Frost, and Brand New Sin, it's really an honor to be here for you tonight. And before I continue, I would probably like to apologize for the war of northern aggression that occurred in these parts between the years 1861 to 1865. I had nothing to fucking do with it. I'm from the South myself. South Brooklyn, motherfucker. I'll fucking do me. Did I say the N-word negative? This is anesthesia.
And I wrote down the songs that they played, so I'm just going to read off of this. These Three Things, Prophet of Doom. Which is my favorite. Love You to Death. Oh, my other favorite. Christian Woman, Black Number One. Hey Pete. I'm trying to think. I think they probably played My Girlfriend's Girlfriend as well. I just wrote down the ones that I could remember. And the whole crowd was singing, the whole crowd was dancing. It was just really, really fantastic. I was super content that one of my life dreams had come true. Of course, by the time the show ended, we were super tired, so we just skipped out really quick. At that time, I didn't know that you could hang around and possibly meet people, but I don't think we even would have anyway because we were so tired. I wrote in my journal that I felt like total crap afterwards. I was probably soaked in beer and cigarette smoke, and I had like makeup all the way down my face from my eyes watering so much. It was just really cool. It was really magical. I can still remember everything. And it's been almost 7 years now since Peter died, so I'm not really sad, but I'm more just focusing on how happy I am that I had the chance to see them, especially since I didn't know it would be my only chance ever. And one of the funniest things from the crowd was one time at some point there was this drunk guy acting a fool, And then there was this huge guy who almost looked like Peter, but he was like a little heavier. This huge guy pointed at him and went, and then the guy just started behaving. So I've been to like 53 concerts since then, but that's still one of my most special memories. I hold it very dear to my heart, but you're in luck because I have had other metal real life fairy tales that I can share with you in the future. If you have had the chance to see Typo Negative, you know how I feel, and if you haven't, then I send you my condolences. But the band's spirit is still alive in all of us and in the art they left us with. Rest in peace, Peter. Thank you guys for watching. If you are a Typo Negative fan, please tell me your favorite Typo Negative song or memory. Like I said, my favorite is Anesthesia, and my other favorite is Love You to Death. The first Typo Negative song I ever heard was My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, and I saw it on Uranium, on what would they call it, Much Music, I think that's what they called it back then, or maybe it was Fuse. I remember seeing that and I was like, what? And then shortly after I heard Love You to Death and saw the video for that, and I was hooked. But now Anesthesia is my all-time favorite. That concludes tonight's Metal Fairy Tale. Good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye! So, anytime I look back on my life, I just think about how, like, I've seen Celtic Frost and Typo Negative. Like, I'm practically royalty. And my life is, like, fulfilled, pretty much. What more could a girl ask for?